Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited because I've just received my brand new ENKI flight case. This is the X-2 model, so it's the latest one they've released. And today I'm going to do an unbox video, show you the case and give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. So without further ado, let's get this thing unboxed. So here it is, the ENKI X-2 guitar flight case in all its glory. So one of the things that really appealed to me with this is being able to just take the front off and just leave it set up at gigs, so I don't have to set up any extra guitar stands or anything like that. Turn up to a gig with it, chuck it on stage, literally ready to go. It's one of the things that really appealed, aside from the fact that it's also going to be great for protecting my guitars. Let's get the front off and see what it looks like inside. Oh wow. Extra foam. So I believe these foam sections move up and down. So if you've got any guitars where the headstocks perhaps sort of sit a little bit lower and you need the foam section below the nut, you can adjust the height of that, which is really cool. There we go. I've got the front lid off. So the front lid is a little bit tricky to get off, so it might just be where it's brand new and needs like a little bit cleaner or something. Comes with a little case, which is also hard to get out apparently. But that's good. If it's wedged in there, it means it's not going to move around and stuff. So little ENKI case, you want to keep in there. That's a really cool little extra feature. It's got a set of wheels on the bottom, wheeling it around, moving it about on stage wherever you need to put it. I believe these are the updated skateboard wheels, I believe. It's got a nice handle on the top. It has got a feature up here, so when you get the top back on, I'm guessing you can put like a lock or a padlock or whatever on it if you really need to. So the hinges are like pull-out hinges. So here I've got my trusty telly. So in she goes. So as we can see, foam section is a little bit too high. Drop this down. That should sit in there. That's pretty snug. What I like about that is you can pull the guitar out. It doesn't really catch on the bass. Even if it does though, it's quite a nice soft edge around there. So that's pretty cool. So if you're really precious about the body of the guitar, you're not going to have too many issues. Chuck a Strat in here as well. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. There we go. Nice. The only thing you won't be able to do if you are going to use this as a guitar stand, which is what I want to do, you won't be able to have the whammy bar fitted to your guitar if it's a whammy bar guitar. So I guess the only thing to bear in mind if you're doing guitar changes, that's the only thing you've got to bear in mind compared to a guitar being on like a different stand. You could probably have your whammy bars and all that kind of stuff already set up, ready to go. Equally though, your guitar is going to be super protected. It's pretty sturdy. It'll take quite a lot to push it over as well. So I'm going to try and get the lid back on and see how easy or difficult it is to get the lid back on. So I had to pause the video there because getting the front back on was a massive pain in the arse. So I finally got the front back on just to prove it. There we go. But that was an effort. So I think my only drawback with this case is getting the lid back on. It's super fiddly. So I'm gonna try and use some like spray to see if I can loosen up those hinges a little bit. Love the case, it's super awesome. I can't wait to try it out at the weekend. I'm gonna have to spend a bit of time practicing getting this lid. It's not too bad getting it off. You have to give it a little bit of a nudge to get the lid off, but getting it back on is super fiddly. What I had to do is actually lay the case flat, because it's a bit of a backbreaker when you're trying to put the lid back on standing up. The problem is when the lid is fully off like this, again I'll do some close-up sweeps of this, you can pull the lid off in this position with the lid like on the floor right now, but you can't put it back on this way. You have to lift the lid a little bit in order to get the hinges to kind of match up, because there's like bits of the case that are kind of in the way. So I think that's the only drawback with this case, it's just the lid, getting it back on. If you're in a bit of a hurry, I can see this actually being a bit of an issue if you've got like a dark stage and there's not much lighting, you're in a little bit of a hurry to try and get your case closed up. So I'm going to need a bit of practice with this, so I just wanted to give my own take on it. But as a case, super awesome. I can fit both my guitars in there, no problem. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little close-up of the hinges here. And I've actually, after spending a few more moments with this, I found a little solution. I'm just using my pedal train flight case here. What I've done here, there you go, you can see the hinges there. So you have to sort of pull this off quite aggressively to get it off. Just use some of this WD-40 silicone spray, and it's just helped to kind of like loosen it up a little bit. Just try and push that back on. It's quite hard to do with one hand, but there you go. So yeah, it's just been loosening up. But that's the tricky bit. If I pull the whole thing off, there you go. That's the tricky bit, is getting those hinges lined up. You need both hands to do this really, and then getting those back on. That's the tricky part, but certainly having something to lean the case on is really, really useful, because without that, and then this is just laying on the floor, because of like some of the plastic anyway, it's really hard to realign those hinges back up. But with that little bit of leverage, it's definitely a little bit easier. So hopefully that's helpful, but yeah, just prepare yourself for a little bit of playing around with that. I hope you found this video somewhat useful. I'm certainly going to look forward to using the case at the weekend with the gigs I've got coming up. I should also mention this video is not sponsored. I did actually purchase this case myself. If you enjoyed the video, guys, and you found some of it useful, feel free to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.